How to easily convert between different measuring units. So on the diagram above, you can see different measuring units from biggest one, which is kilometer, to smallest one, which is millimeter. Above the symbols of measuring units, you have a blue arrow and a number. This number basically can help you while you will be converting from bigger to smaller unit. For example, if you have a task, how many meters do you have in 2 kilometers, then you are converting from bigger, because kilometer is bigger, to smaller unit. In this scenario, you need to multiply by 1000. This number you can find above blue arrow, which is between symbol of kilometer and meter, km and m. The answer basically will be 2 times 1000 equal 2000 meters. So the answer is 2 kilometers is equal to 2000 meters. Below the symbols of measuring units, you also have a red arrow and number. This number can help you while you need to convert between smaller to bigger unit. For example, if you have a task, how many kilometers do you have in 2 meters? Then you are converting from smaller to bigger unit. In this scenario, you need to divide with the number 1000. This number you can find below red arrow, which is between symbol for kilometer km and meter m. The answer will be 2 divided with 1000 equals 0.002 meters. So 2 meters equals 0.002 kilometers. How to easily convert between different square measuring units. On the diagram above, you can see different measuring units from biggest one, which is kilometer squared, to smallest one, which is millimeter squared. Above the symbols of measuring units, you have a blue arrow and number. This number can help you while you will be converting from bigger to smaller unit. For example, if you have a task, how many decimeters squared do you have in 2 meters squared, then you are converting from bigger to smaller unit. In this scenario, you need to multiply by 100. If you notice, 1 meter equals 10 decimeters, then 1 meter squared equals 100 decimeters squared, which is meaning double. This number, 100 decimeters squared, you can find above blue arrow, which is between symbols m and dm. The answer will be 2 times 100 equals 200 decimeters squared. So 2 meters squared have 200 decimeters squared. Below the symbols of measuring units, you have red arrow and number. This number can help you while you will be converting between smaller to bigger unit. For example, if you have a task, how many meters squared do you have in 2 decimeters squared? Then you are converting from smaller to bigger unit. In this scenario, you need to divide by 100. If you notice, 1 decimeter is equal 0.1 meter, then 1 decimeter squared is equal to 0.01 meter squared, which is meaning, again, we are squaring, so 10 squared gives 100. In our case here, we are dividing. This number you can find below red arrow, which is between symbols km squared and m squared. The answer will be 2 divided with 100 gives you 0.02 meters squared, or in second words, 2 decimeters squared equals 0.02 meters squared. Conversion between square units. So, like we explained before, how to do it, now we will give you some examples. So, for example, we calculate the area for the table and it was 14,823 centimeters squared, and now we want to convert it to millimeters squared. So, centimeter squared is bigger than millimeter squared, so we are doing multiplication. So, this number 14,823 823, we need to multiply with 100. Why 100? Because 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters, but 1 centimeter squared has 100 millimeters squared. So this is the reason why we are multiplying with 100. So 14,823 centimeters squared will be equal to 1,482,300 millimeters squared. Now, when we want to go from centimeters squared to decimeter squared, we are dividing with 100. Why? Because centimeter squared is smaller than decimeter squared. And in the end, when we are going from centimeter squared to kilometer squared, we are again dividing. Why? Because centimeter squared is smaller than kilometer squared, and we are dividing with 10 billions. Scientific notation. Scientific notation is a standard way how we can write really big or really small numbers, so that is much easier to us to compare it in different projects, experiments, or use it in some situations. Here you can find 3 different examples. So the first one is, let's say, big number. How you can from big number get the small one, basically more simple one, or scientific notation. So basically what we want to do, we want to make a decimal number from this number. So in this case, when you have big number, you are going from the right to the left side and putting the decimal number. So you will see here that you will get 1.4823, which is meaning that from right to the left we move for 6 places. This is the reason why you have time 10 on the power of 6. Basically, what we are doing, we are creating coefficient with the value of 1 to 10. Then we are counting how many places basically we moved the decimal. The number of places we move the decimal becomes basically the exponent which you are placing on the top right of the power of 10. The second example is a similar one. It's just a little bit smaller number. So in this case, 148.23. So scientific notation will be 1.4823 times the 10 power of 2. Why power of 2? Because we move for 2 places. Then the last one is, let's say, a really small one. So we are this is a little bit different. So we are moving from left to the right side for how many places? So that we can get 1.4823 times 10 on the power of minus 6. Why minus 6? Here you need to be really careful. So when you are moving these decimal places from left to the right, then the power will be minus number depending on the number of places you moved. If you are going from right to the left, like in top 2 examples, then the power will be positive number.